States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moment of silence. Roll call.
Councilor Coast. Here. Councilor Matthews.
Here.
Councilor Huner.
Present.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Here.
Councilor Allen.
Here.
Councilor Fry.
Here.
All members are present. We have a quorum.
Motion to approve the previous meeting's minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Allen and second by Councilor Coast. Councilor Allen.
Yes.
Councilor Coast.
Yes.
Councilor Matthews.
Yes.
Councilor Huner.
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain.
Yes.
Councilor Fry.
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Names of individuals wishing to address council. We have a young man in the audience. His name is Kyle Burnett. He's here to fulfill a Boy Scout project. And with the advising of Mr. McWaters, he wants us to talk about the water rates tonight. Right?
Is that right, Kyle?
Yeah.
Anything to add to that?
No.
Okay.
All right. Moving on to committee reports. Utility.
Utility Committee met Thursday morning after the Committee of the Whole. It was to discuss the water rates that would go in effect April 1 of 14. If we do nothing, it automatically goes into effect. But we talked with Jamie and Dennis, and after much discussion, we thought it would be best just to forego it until later in the year, see where our finances are going at that time. But at this time, we're making a recommendation that we do nothing as far as raising them at this time and wait 6 months to reevaluate. And then also, Dennis presented that the county and ODOT are going to be building a new building out across from the fairgrounds. It'll be the EMS offices as far as county goes. And when they get ready, they will have to apply to tie into the sanitary sewer that goes out on 108. But at this time, they have not applied to do such. And that was our meeting.
Okay, I got one question, Fred. You said the committee made a recommendation to do nothing, which you've got to have a recommendation to.
Our recommendation is to forego the rate increase at this time until later on, September, October, when we review it again.
Okay.
Otherwise, if we don't do something, if we just leave it go, it's automatically
Correct.
going to go into effect on April 1.
It's on the
Okay.
agenda.
So your recommendation is to postpone water and sewer rates till November 1st, 2014.
Correct.
And then that is going to be our last one, isn't it?
That will be our last one. So then we'll have to really sit down and review,
Exactly.
because we don't want to, after this is off the table in a year and a half, 2 years, going to say, hey, we should have maybe.
Bumped a couple of them in there somewhere,
Right,
yeah.
right.
I know. Well, we had that situation, where we went 8 years where we didn't raise it.
Right,
And
and
got
we
us
don't
in
want to
trouble.
get in the same situation.
I agree.
That's my report.
Motion to approve.
So be it.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Matthews and second by Councilor Huner. Is there any discussion? Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Huner?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
The reason why I vote, looking at the proposed legislation, it says postpone, I'd rather it say cancel. So I vote no, just based upon the language.
Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
5 yeas, 1 nay, motion carries.
Moving on, tree commission.
Tree Commission met March 6th in the morning. Tom Savage reported that they're in the process of removing some dead hazardous trees. The Hodge-Knocking tree on North Sheep Avenue has been removed. And we're going to recommend Kim Bowles, who is currently voluntarily serving as our secretary, to nominate her for tree commission in Don Matthews' place. We also discussed moving some trees from Richard Mull's property to the parks, finding them in the parks and possibly boulevards, and possibly some into a tree nursery for future. We also talked about the Tree City Awards program in Kenton this year, and we're also discussing and making plans for our Arbor Day program at the Leggett Street and Middle School this year. That's it.
All right, thank you. Park Board.
Park Board? Yeah, very short meeting. We did not have a quorum, so no recommendations came out of Park Board. Thank you to Michael Zunk and Kelly Rashley for attending. Talked about 10 trees. It seems like trees are a popular issue these days. 10 trees going into Biddle Park. Also talked about the gazebo at South Park being used for weddings. Mike Zunk actually proposed a good idea, suggested just like a plastic chain across the front of the gazebo saying reserved for a wedding, just to sort of give public notice, but nothing really, you know, lock and key or anything like that. Sure. The Vacation Bible School hosted by Crossroads that took place last year, week long at Reard Park. They asked to use our facilities again at Reard Park, another week long Vacation Bible School. So we discussed the security deposit approach there. And also Dave Murray talked about memorial trees, maybe thinking about, rather than memorial trees, maybe more of a brick paver program. And Dave simply charged the park board members to give it some thought between that meeting and our next park board meeting. So just some thought. And Mike Zunk brought up that he's had several inquiries about a pet-friendly park within the city. So it seems like we've been talking about pet-friendly parks for some time. I think the park board is going to take that initiative on and give us some more thought. So it's basically everything we've covered.
All right, thanks.
I have a question. I don't know if this is the right time, or maybe Dennis, you can answer this too. Has anybody come back to the park board from the pool committee and addressed maybe where they're at right now?
Nobody's addressed the park board.
Okay. Dennis, has anybody contacted you?
No, not in well over 12 months.
Okay. I just was kind of
They're
curious.
still
where-
holding their meetings and stuff.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I haven't had anything.
All right, moving forward. Department head reports. David?
I wanted to discuss this a little bit at the staff meeting on Wednesday, but unfortunately due to the weather I didn't make it in. But I did want to just address council and let them know that on February 28th, the Community Development Block Grant 30-day comment period started. Fiscal year 2014 Ohio Consolidated Plan, an annual action plan and executive summary was submitted on our website, which basically explains all the programs and grants that are available through the Community Development Block Grant Program. A portion of this, or a program in this, a grant in this program was a downtown revitalization grant from last year, if you remember that. So it addresses that criteria, those guidelines. It looks to appear to be about the same as it was last year. And I just wanted to address council and let them know that we have a good template in place. So if there's any ideas for any downtown revitalization for Wauseon, we can still apply for that. Application deadline would be June 20th to the state. To our office, I think we established an application deadline of May 24th this year. So I would enjoy working with anybody that is interested in moving that forward. If there's any good ideas, that'd be a good time to work through that. Other than that, no big changes. Funding keeps going down. It went down maybe $250,000 from the year prior, but there's $65 million total. Went down to about 64.5 this year. So I know Fulton County for the allocation program I believe there's $100,000 set aside for them for those purposes. That's it.
All right, any questions? Thanks, David. Sure. Chief Schlitter.
Nothing operations-wise in the fire department. As far as the Firemen's Association, several of our members are continuing to work with the police department, parks department on getting the 4th of July celebration put together. But that's been taking up quite a bit of our time lately, but that's all I've got to report on tonight, Mayor.
Thank you. Chief Torley.
Likewise, the weather's been pretty much keeping us busy, even though it is still cold and dreary out. I just want to remind people that as it starts to warm up, especially since it's been so cold, to keep an eye out for the kids out on their bikes and people on motorcycles. And if you're out walking your dogs, make sure that you clean up any presents they leave alongside the roadway. We've had several complaints about that already, so it's not even April yet. So that's about all I've got.
Thank you. Tom.
I've received the site plans and the zoning application for a new urgent care on Shoup Avenue. So it's out there at the old video connection south of the gas station. So a lot of that project is starting. The Board of Zoning Appeals approved the variance for Haas North, so that opens it for their nice addition across the front of their building. And along with what the chief says, as the snow disappears, we're starting to find out there's more artifacts from families that have been left under the snow. And we're going to be looking and sending letters out. I've already sent 2 out about junk and debris that probably was on its way someplace, but when the snow hit, it's there. Now it's starting to show its face. So we'll be working to try and get that cleaned up too. So.
All right. Thanks, Tom. Dennis?
On the Linfoot Street front, we're kind of in a short law. We bounced the ball over into ODOT's court as far as our filing for environmental study, waiting on their comments, anticipating, as I reported at the last meeting, that we'll probably have to go back and do some additional borings, at least near the right-of-way for a few parcels. The other thing noteworthy tonight is your second piece of legislation, which we talked about it at the last meeting, but it's for ODOT to conduct bridge inspections on behalf of the city. And that, their format does include emergency language, so the reason for that is it's their format and they want it sooner than later. So if there's no questions about that, then
Dennis, I have one question on that. So Wood Street's covered on that too, correct? Wood Street Bridge? Between Walnut and Mulberry?
yes.
Okay.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay.
Dennis, just another question. I think last council meeting I asked about some light replacements out at the, has that been done?
Honestly, I forgot to ask them about it.
Okay.
I'm certain that it has been taken care of because the discussion we had way back when was that that project really shouldn't have been on a capital improvements list. It was just something to do. So, but I did neglect to find that out. I apologize.
That's right. Thank you.
Looks like Jamie's absent tonight, so Tom?
Nothing much to report. Continue to work on a number of projects for various department heads. My list is getting longer instead of shorter, but there are good things ahead, so I appreciate the patience.
Things are happening.
Things are happening, but we're staying legal. That's the important stuff. Keeping people out of trouble.
Tom, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're the one or Dennis, but when Shane brought that comment up about the rate, delaying the rate, this April is our last ability to either go ahead with the increase or not, and we decided to vote on it to not. My question is, it says delayed till November. I was under the understanding when we went through this increase for 5 years, correct? That I didn't know that we could delay it and push it to 6 months up the road. I thought either we had to act on it And then if we acted on it, we were not able to go back to that and say, okay, we didn't do it this one, so now we're going to do it over here. Either we said yay or nay on whether we increased it or not. So my question is, how do we push that to November if this is in fact the last vote?
Well, I think the answer is that so the study, and this predates me, but the study was done, which proposed the rate increases, and then that was codified in the relevant, I guess it's 93302, and then it's really council's prerogative to do with that as it wants to. I mean, you can revise it, you could delete it. I mean, you can do pretty much what you want to do. The way it stands this evening is that the last rate increase is April 1st, 2014, and so without action by council, that codified ordinance would go into effect. So I think the long story short is there's nothing that precludes council from revisiting the issue and changing that.
Exactly, and I agree with that, and I think it should be, but I didn't know if we say we're delaying it, I didn't know if we could go ahead and do that when we put that in place.
Let me try to give you the non-lawyer version. Not that it's going to be any better.
Are we paying the same retainer?
No, my opinion's cheap.
It doesn't make a difference.
Good. Tom, stop, Dennis, go ahead. Save us some money.
I just don't want to use something that we can't have in place.
The bottom line is council can do whatever they want to with water and sewer rates anytime they want to.
Right.
What was passed and suggested and approved were these stepped increases over so many years. Because scheduled increases, at least the mindset was, scheduled increases are better than ignoring them or never having a reason to revisit them and being in the kind of shape that we were before these went into effect. But yeah, council legislatively has the ability to raise or lower water and sewer rates anytime they want to.
Exactly.
So
I guess I just didn't want that delayed, that we're going to use the same thing. Are we able to prolong?
You are able to.
The
short answer is you're able to do
increase.
that.
Okay.
No problem.
That's what I wanted to know. Thank you.
And also, I think the council's done that several.
Yeah. Well, see, that's what I wanted to know. I didn't know if we could because we voted it for so many months, and it be done at this month. How are we delaying that to go forward? That's all. It's just about legislation. Okay.
And you've done it in the past, so this is not that makes it right, but it's not inconsistent with prior practice.
Right. Okay.
All right, moving on. First reading legislation. Ordinance 2014-3 modifying the rate schedule for water and sewer rates for the city of Wauseon and declaring an emergency.
So moved.
Second.
Motion moved by Councilor Coast and second by Councilor Matthews. Is there any discussion? Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Huner?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Just again, simply due to language, I'd rather have it say cancel rather than postpone, so I'll vote no.
Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
5 yeas, 1 nay, motion carries.
Final passage. Second.
Motion made by Councilor Huner and second by Councilor Coast. Councilor Huner?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
No.
Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
5 yeas, 1 nay. Ordinance 2014-3 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Resolution 2014-3 authorizes the mayor to provide consent for the Ohio Department of Transportation to conduct the inspection of bridges located in the city of Wauseon and declare an emergency.
I'll make a motion to suspend the rules and declare emergency on 2014-03.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Huner and second by Councilor Allen. Is there any discussion? Councilor Huner?
Yes.
Councilor Allen?
Yes.
Councilor Coast?
Yes.
Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Final passage.
Second.
Motion made by Councilor Matthews and second by Councilor Fry. Councilor Matthews?
Yes.
Councilor Fry?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Hühner?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, Resolution 2014-3 passes on emergency and is now in effect.
Resolution 2014-4, authorizing the mayor to advertise for bids for the secondary digester cover replacement project, authorizing the mayor to accept the lowest and best bid, and authorizing the mayor to enter into a contract with the lowest and best bidder.
First reading?
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Matthews and second by Counselor Allen. Is there any discussion? Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Hühner?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Frye?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, Resolution 2014-4 passes on first reading.
There's no second or third reading, and on the new business, we need a motion to appoint Kim Bowles to the Tree Commission for the unexpired term of Don Matthews to December 31st, 16.
So moved. Second.
Motion made by Counselor Frye and second by Counselor Allen. Counselor Frye?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Does it only take one person to fill this?
I'm a little disappointed myself. I
Yes.
thought they had filled the seat with two.
Yes.
Counselor Hühner?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Coast?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Don, obviously they don't talk as much because the report was a lot shorter than that.
I know.
We didn't have the timer going, so.
Everybody was smiling.
Donnie doesn't wear a watch, he doesn't know what time it is.
Anyways, Don, thanks for your service on the
Sure.
Tree Commission.
Sure.
Yeah.
Motion to approve the bills as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Counselor Coast and second by Counselor Hühner. Counselor Coast?
Yes.
Counselor Hühner?
Yes.
Counselor Matthews?
Yes.
Counselor Chamberlain?
Yes.
Counselor Allen?
Yes.
Counselor Frye?
Yes.
6 yeas, 0 nays, motion carries.
Mayor, yeah, one more question before we go. Dennis, on Resolution 2014-4, the digester thing, is there any reason to move faster on that, or are we okay at the pace we're moving at?
Actually, if all goes well with what the engineers have been telling us about their schedule, I'll probably ask for that on an emergency at the next meeting.
Okay. Thank you, Mayor.
Motion adjourned.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.